Thanks for joining me, Scott Ryan here. I am here to fight the battle against undue optimism. So pull up a chair and let's talk about the dismal reality for the United States of America. Today, conservatives were latching on to a poll that shows that Obama's dropping fairly significantly in favorability among the youth, those under the age of 30 who overwhelmingly elected him. Well, that's great from a point of view that we like to see some sort of justice, in the sense that we want people to see their errors of their ways, and we want people to have regrets. But I think where the undue optimism is that this is being interpreted in a way that, as though it's going to have consequences on Obama. Obama is going to do what he's going to do. They reelected him. The time to have buyer's remorse would have been before reelecting him for a second term. He's going full speed ahead with his plan, which is and always has been the complete obliteration of the Constitution of the United States, and for totalitarianism, with himself at the top. The man has no compunction. It doesn't matter how far he falls in the polls. It's like a rogue dictator whom everybody loves when they first see him take office. And then the reality sets in. But this guy knows he's on a mission. This is about destiny. This isn't about the day-to-day polls. Like, well, Bill Clinton, he really catered to the polls. He was big in the polls. He pulled everything. It was all about the polls. He said whatever the polling said he should say. That's not Obama. He's on a mission. It doesn't matter what his popularity is. He's going to complete the mission, which is sabotage. He was a Manchurian candidate. Now he's a Manchurian president. So I'm not doom and gloom completely. I mean, I believe that we need to be dealing with reality and to be focused on what we actually can do to protect our Constitution, protect the God-given liberties that were left to us by our founding fathers. And I believe, as a general, they sometimes they retreat, sometimes they do what they have to do to regroup and deal with the reality. Not like there was a lady that called Glenn Beck's show this morning, I heard, and just a sweet lady, but she was talking with him somewhat in a friendly reprimand about how he needs to be more optimistic, more positive, and then he was, and you know, don't give up, that sort of thing. Now he's fighting the battle. He's going to Washington D.C. this week and doing what he doesn't want to do, and he's telling her, he's asking her, "Are you going to Washington D.C.?" And she says no. And if I had the money, I would. Well, that's what all Americans, I mean, not all Americans, but a large number of Americans say. We have excuses. Well, we don't have the money. But if it was important enough, we could sell something and get the money. There's ways to get the money if it's really important enough. We have a lot of people who want to be optimistic. That's just the defense mechanism, without having any real empirical reason, justifiably, to be so. I'm optimistic in the sense that we need to take advantage of the few patriots that we have in the United States Congress and the Senate. They're out there, Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, Tim Scott. We've got a few, but there are not enough to save this union. It doesn't matter how far the polls show Obama falling. There aren't enough people in this country who know what the hell's going on and care enough to hold him accountable. The man should be prosecuted criminally for treason. And we can't even talk impeachment because of the cowards, the self-serving traitors that represent most of the United States Senate and House. It isn't going to happen. You are not going to change them. You are not going to get them to lift a damn finger to bring any amount of justice against Barack Hussein Obama in this lifetime. So forget about all that nonsense. Take advantage of what the few patriots are doing out there, which, if we were to use it productively, if we were to use the resources that they are the benefits that they are to us, it would be that they are staving off the inevitable collapse that the saboteur is hell-bent on bringing about and is going to bring about. Because Americans will not enough Americans, only 30% of Americans will take the time. The 70% refuse to get involved, to take the time to even care what's going on. So use those men like Paul, Cruz, Tim Scott, Mike Lee. Use those people who are buying us time while we could be coalescing. We need to focus on the state governments. I say this every day, and it's worth saying because we don't have a lot of time left. We need to focus on strengthening our state governments. We need people who understand that the writing is on the wall, conservatives who live sparsely scattered across the country in blue states where their state government is bought and paid for and subservient to Barack Obama. They are going to plunder you. They are going to hand you over to Caesar the moment you step out of line. If you're a pastor and you refuse to marry homosexuals, you're going to be in trouble. Your state is not going to protect you. If you're a doctor and you refuse to perform abortions out of conscience, you are going to be in trouble. Your state is not going to protect you. If they're coming for your guns, your state is not going to protect you. You need to come to the southern states, one of the God-fearing Bible states, Bible Belt states. We need to coalesce. We need to hang together or hang separately. That is what we should be focused on right now, because it is these 50 states are finished. This union is not just dead because we have a tyrant, Barack Obama, and ignominious anti-American traitors like Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid in Washington, D.C. We're not done because of that. They are a symptom. We are done because the American people elect them. They don't give a damn what's being done to us. They don't give a damn. Look at these people. Look at what they're voting for in New York. They've got this totalitarian idiot, this Bloomberg. I mean, ironically, the word Jewish fascist, those two don't go together, but this guy, it's like Soros. He would sell out anybody, probably his own mother, for power. And what do they have? They've got Wiener or Soros. Those are their choices. This is why America is dead. It is because of the people, the valley of dry bones that makes up America. Even in the church, asleep. You go to most churches in America, especially the most successful ones, they don't have the courage to talk about politics, and they won't have the courage, like our founding fathers, many of the signers of the Declaration of Independence being ordained ministers themselves. These are not people cut from that cloth. These people are representative of why America is a valley of dry bones. It's all about positive thinking. It's about me. It's about selling books, self-help books. The prophecies talk about in the end times there will be a shaking in the house, and that is going to happen. You're going to see churches, many of these top churches, which won't eat. Like, you look at the guy, what's his name, with the nice cap teeth, Osteen. This guy, I've seen him. It's pathetic. I've seen him on. I know it sounds judgmental, but when you see somebody on national TV, and it's like you're torturing him in an interview, trying to get him to acknowledge that homosexuality is a sin. How many times this guy refused to even say it? I don't like to get involved with that, and we're just so positive, blah, blah, blah. Nothing is wrong. He won't call anything sin, won't acknowledge the most basic. We're talking throughout the Old and the New Testament, homosexuality is a sin. Won't say it. These people will be the first to flip when Obama and Nero come and say that you must renounce your faith. They will say anything that they're told to, because they're about church growth, they're about their prestige, they're about their money, they're about building their own earthly kingdoms, not the kingdom of God. Well, that's not going to last long. The black helicopters are coming, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you for joining me. I'm Scott Ryan.